What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. Man, we're on a massive 14-0 run. I got one very strong play for you guys in this video. It's going to be a two-leg parlay. That's what's been hitting for us. A lot of these days has been a two-leg parlay, and today is no different. There is one of the legs is a little bit riskier. I'm going to explain that, but we're going to get extra points on that leg so that we can mitigate the risk on that level. If you haven't done so, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment. There's a lot of people that are, we had about 150 subscribers in the last 2 days. I really want to thank you for that. And if you haven't done so, make sure you take that extra second and click on subscribe and like. Also, if you don't want to miss out, like for example, if I couldn't make a video today, if you don't want to miss out on all the plays, make sure you click on the link in the description where it says free picks. That way you can get alerted whenever we post the picks, even if I don't make a video. All right, guys, so let me kind of talk about it real quick what happened yesterday. We needed the Brooklyn Nets and the Wizards to go on the under 235. You can see here they didn't even hit 220. So that was a pretty easy hit. Next leg of that parlay, we needed the Suns to win by 5. They ended up winning by 27. So very easy win. That two-leg parlay yesterday made it a 14-0 run so far. And like I said, I have one very strong parlay in this video. All right, so one of the first things I look at in the morning is the back-to-back, meaning who played yesterday, and then they're playing today again. What this means, sometimes they travel, sometimes they don't, but it doesn't really matter. It's just what this is a fatigue factor. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to just give you the quick breakdown. The Knicks played yesterday, so that means Phillies did not. So that means that Phillies have a one-day rest advantage. Atlanta and Toronto, Atlanta played yesterday. That means Toronto has a one-day advantage. Charlotte and Chicago, they both played yesterday, so they're both on a back-to-back. There's no rest advantage. Portland and the Spurs, this one is important, and this one is important because that's going to be two of the legs for today's parlay. But Portland and Spurs, they're both on a back-to-back. Remember this. Also, Utah and Golden State, Golden State played yesterday. Utah has a one-day advantage. So one of the other tools I use is called the line move tool. It's inside the Sharp Edge tool. If you want access to this Sharp Edge, make sure you click on the link in the description. You get 2 weeks for free. But this, again, line move tool. All right, so the first play I'm going to be looking at is from this game. You can see the Trailblazers and the Spurs. Like I mentioned, they both played yesterday, different teams, but they both played yesterday. So that means that they're both tired. Now, the line started at a 243, which is already extremely high. And then that dropped to a 238. So that's a 5-point line move on the under. Now, remember I said Portland and Spurs, they're both on back-to-backs, meaning they're both very tired. Now, if we look over here at the injury report, you can see the Trailblazers are actually missing half their squad. Also, Wembanyama is questionable. He might play, he might not. It still says questionable. It says expected lineup. So we don't know if he's playing or not. But even then, like I said, they're both tired. And these guys are missing half their squad, especially with Scoot Henderson and Drew Holiday as well. So this one's actually questionable. Jeremy Grant, they're missing Scoot Henderson, and they're missing Drew Holidays. If Grant sits, that means 3 of the starters are actually sitting, and the rest of these guys over here. Now, if we look at the projections here, you can see Portland Trailblazers is 114. The Spurs is 124. So total, if you do the math there, it's 238. Now, one of the sharp plays over here also says to look at the under 237. So now we look deeper into this game. Like I said, 114 and 124 is 238. Now, here's actually a better picture of what I'm talking about. This line started at a 243. The projections are 238. And now the current total is 236. So that you can see that line dropped 5 points. Now, we also see 63% of the bets and 59% of the money is coming in on the over. So the reverse line move, just like that I talked about on that line move tool, the line is going against the public, and it's massive. It's 5 points. Now, one other massive factor, too, is that the under has hit 80% of the time whenever Portland is facing top 10 scoring defenses. So not only are they tired, they got a bunch of injuries, and this has hit 80% of the time in the last 5 games on the under. Now, that's going to be the first leg of this parlay is going to be the Trailblazers and the Spurs on the under. I'm going to tell you exactly what line I'm taking it at. But first, let me talk about the second play. So this is going to be a very simple play. It's going to be 2 tired teams. One of them is missing half their squad, and they going against a very strong defense with half a squad. So the public somehow sees this on the over, and the sharps are screaming on the under. So I'm following the money on this one. All right, the second leg of this is going to be the 76ers and the Knicks, just like I mentioned earlier. New York played yesterday, and Philly has a one-day advantage, rest advantage. Now you can see the projections do show that the 76ers should be losing this game by 4 points, 120 versus 116. However, the line did go from a plus 4.5, and it's currently at a plus 3.5. If you know how to read line moves, what this means is that the sharp line is going towards Philadelphia. Now, if we look at the spread and the betting action, 58% of the bets, 58% of the money is coming in on New York, yet the line is shifting towards 76ers. One other very important thing to note is that 76ers actually beat the Knicks 2 weeks ago in Madison Square Garden. So that's very important to note as well. Now let's look at the injury report. Here you can see Karl Anthony Towns is questionable. If he ends up playing, it's going to be a little bit of a bigger factor. That's why it's a bigger risk. There's other little risks involved, but the big one is if Karl Anthony Towns plays. If this dude ends up sitting, this line is going to go closer to pick 'em on the Philadelphia 76ers. Anyways, you see Embiid. It's a little green check mark over here. What this means is that he's very probable to play. Over here, you can see it's a little gray check mark. What this means is that it's still game time decision. So we don't know if he's going to play or not. But overall, like I said, 76ers has beat the Knicks at home 2 weeks ago. Now, another thing here, I don't know why the Knicks didn't show up right here, but 76ers do cover the spreads 6 out of the last 10 games. Now, here's the other risk factor that I was talking about, is that the 76ers are only hitting this 32% of the time, 12 and 25 in the last, 37 games. However, this is very important. I don't care if they win the game or not. This is what this stat shows, is that they have to win the game. That's what that is, money line. But we're not going with the money line. We're taking the spread. And I'm going to tell you exactly what spread I'm taking. So here's the breakdown for that game. There's a risk showing that, the 76ers are not good on the road. However, like I mentioned, we don't care if they win the game or not because we're taking the spread with the points. I'm going to tell you exactly how many points. And also, the Knicks played yesterday. 76ers are rested, and they beat them 2 weeks ago. Now, before I give you the final play, exactly what I'm taking, please, if you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe. Also, click on where it says free picks. And if you want all our picks, which is currently 4 picks, one of them actually I'm giving you right now. But then I also have 3 that I threw out in the VIP. And then I still have to go through my player props for basketball, which might come up with another 3 to 4 plays. Also, my business partner is going to throw out some NHL if he has anything, or college basketball. I saw there was a lot of potential for college basketball. So all those plays will be added to the VIP. So if you want to check us out for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, you can check that out. The link is in the description for that. Also, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, if you haven't done so, make sure at least you get the free picks. That way you don't miss out. Even if I don't make a video, we'll throw something out there. There's a lot of people joining the Discord. It's, I think, over 30 people now. And there's a lot of people talking about, what their plays are, what they're looking at, live betting and stuff like that. So if you haven't done so, check out the Discord as well. And the Sharp Edge too is 2 weeks for free. And if you want to learn this stuff, how I read the lines, how I come up with these plays, check it out. The link in the description where it says learn from us. And here's the pick, guys. I'm going to take the 76ers at a plus 11.5. And then I'm buying this back from Portland Trailblazers at a under 250. So this is pretty much a 10-point buyback for each line. So the 76ers, I think, at a plus 3.5. I bought that back to a plus 11.5. The current line for the Blazers, I think it's like 238 or something, or 234. I bought it all the way up to 250. One thing I will mention that I already had placed the bet. I already had sent it to the VIP. I'm going to leave it what it is. But like I mentioned, the risks involved for the 76ers, what you might want to do here instead is put a plus 13.5 if your book offers it on the 76ers, and then lower that under from 250 to 248. Either way, that's up to you. This is what I'm taking. This is what I'm putting out there. Now, if this play hits, we're going to go 15-0. If it doesn't, then, it breaks the streak, but it is what it is. I really feel strongly about this play because of all the reasoning behind it, the injuries, the rest advantage, all that stuff. So that's what I'm going with. If you haven't done so, please make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much. Let's get to 3,000 subscribers.